I guess we're supposed to have opening remarks. It's good to see you in all black, as always.
Might be the second time I'm seeing you in a suit.
Yeah. Partially
like
crypto.
In the old days.
Partially, I don't like.
Does it feel like you?
I don't like acknowledging that most of my suits don't fit me anymore. But yeah, I think the theme today is suits and hoodies. I represent the suits who are coming to the realization that hoodies are significantly cooler, more interesting, and at this point, we're on capital markets, and you clearly represent the hoodies.
Yeah, I guess it reflects a bit our respective careers. I started in tech like over 15 years ago, and kind of slid into finance, and moved from Silicon Valley to all around the world, actually, because that's what people do in crypto. But I would say you moved from New York to Miami, which is also what people do in crypto.
Yes. New York to Miami. I was a 21 vintage New York to Miami mover, but I think, so I guess we'll talk about our origin stories briefly, stop boring you, and then we'll move forward. But I think 2008, I entered the financial markets, fresh suits from Joseph A. Bank, Goldman Sachs, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, thinking we were going to take over the world. And then in 2012, was briefly introduced to Bitcoin. Dismissed it because I worked at Goldman Sachs as a young kid. I thought this was the top of the top. And then in 2016, started getting more involved in the industry, recognizing as a mature financial market participant that crypto was the most volatile, highest alpha generating trading market in the world. And so me and a few others went out and started a firm, Block Tower Capital, which was a hedge fund. And over the years, got to know many different parts of the market, started appreciating the technology more, the capital market still about as much. I like to say I'm in it for the tech now. I was certainly in it for the money early. And that's kind of my story. And then, Centrifuge was, Lucas and I met in the mountains of Switzerland, where we talked about kind of the integration of crypto technology and financial markets. And that's sort of where this relationship, this budding relationship started, ultimately leading to, our on-chain credit cowboys, Kevin and Kevin, launching a credit vehicle, leveraging Centrifuge and kind of merging traditional finance and crypto finance. So I think that's pretty interesting, but kind of boring. I think your story from Berlin to New York is a lot more interesting, so I'll let you share your hoodie to semi-suit, but still not quite suit story.
I think, funnily enough, I also bought my first Bitcoin in 2012. I only bought one, unfortunately. I also dismissed it. I thought it's going to be extremely hard to replace cash with something as hard to use as Bitcoin at the time. Then I didn't really think about it much for many years, and then 2017 I got bored with Web 2, got bored with Silicon Valley, and started reading more about crypto again. And the Ethereum white paper is what actually kind of changed my mind, and it was the fact that you can program money, right? And I had very much a software engineer perspective on this. It's like, this is going to be so much more efficient. I had a brief stint in fintech, and I did send FTP files files via FTP to banks to trigger payments, and I just realized, this technology definitely is going to have a positive impact. And so from that, we started with Centrifuge when DeFi didn't exist as a term or in practice deployed anywhere. When stablecoins, I don't remember what the market cap of stablecoins were. I think it was minuscule. This was pre-USDT, pre-USDC. And so the first couple of years we spent really just bootstrapping this ecosystem. And it was first bootstrapping this ecosystem with on-chain capital, with on-chain assets, right? For the first couple of years of this, most people didn't think you could bring traditional assets on-chain. Most people in crypto, most people that were using crypto, right? And I think to bring it back to this time in 21 when we started talking about capital markets, about credit, about stable
Begrudgingly you started talking about these things.
And Block Tower was one of the early ones to actually catch on to this trend and make these significant investments, right? That was kind of, I think, a watershed moment in proving that it's actually possible. I think from there, the pretty crazy growth and the fact that we are now here at an event with with a couple of hundred people talking about just this, what at the time was a crazy fringe part of crypto and is now kind of a major theme, right? I think is really exciting to see because it kind of gives us a preview of what I think, or what I've personally believed for a long time, right, is that like DeFi and on-chain financial markets are the only financial markets in the future, is actually an idea that people are starting to entertain.
Yeah, and funny enough, our old worlds, I think what's old is new is sort of a theme here, I guess, but when I was leaving Goldman in 2017, I think I got a lot of head scratches from partners and the like who had no idea what I was doing. I think one guy on the desk who had a lot of Ethereum told me, go for it, and one of the partners said, do you know what you're doing? And that's interesting because now, obviously, Matt McDermott at Goldman has a team of 100 integrating blockchain technology. They won't say crypto. And then we have organizations from your world like Stripe acquiring, a stablecoin infrastructure company like Bridge. And I think everything, and even back to, my new firm's name, Neoclassic, what's old is new. And I think the idea of bringing new and modern takes on traditional business models and markets is what this is kind of all about. And if you can get someone like Lucas to come around and almost wear a suit, but at least talk about financial markets, I think anything's possible. And so, with that, that's the idea of this conference, I think, is to bridge both worlds. And so this is the second year of RWA Summit, but it feels like a very mature event. There were 5 done around the world this year, and this is the headliner. There were, biblical level storms at some of them in Dubai and Belgium, Brussels, and then I think, Austin as well. There were some issues. We have a perfect New York day for you all to sit inside this room and listen to a bunch of folks talk about the convergence of TradFi and crypto. But anything else we should?
No,
I feel like that's kind of it. Yeah, we'll pause here. We want to kick off.
Yeah, I guess the suits talk to the hoodies and hoodies talk to the suits, and that's how.
Should we shake hands? Should we just be like a moment? Okay, there we go.
Thank you. Have fun today.
All right, and so